crap. I didn't mean to do that. I missed the mark, man. I was messing with my other monitor, and the countdown restarted. I apologize. I completely missed when I was supposed to go live. But welcome, guys. It's been a busy day. We went to, if you follow me on Twitter, you saw a picture that I posted. We went to the animal farm, the alligator farm super early. We got there when they opened. It's the St. Augustine Alligator Farm. And I had never been there. I've lived here since I was 12, I think. Or no, 13. We moved here when I was 13. Jacksonville, St. Augustine. I'm about to turn 38. Do the math. And I've never been to the famed St. Augustine Alligator Farm before. And today was the first time I had ever been. And we took our daughter. We took my sister and her husband and their kids were in town. And my parents came, and we all just went to the alligator farm. I had never been. All these years, I'd never been. Didn't really know what to expect. I expected, like, you walk in and there's like I don't know, almost like an aquarium, or you walk in and there's like a fenced in area with one alligator, yada da. No. If you go on my Twitter and you look at a picture that I posted like an hour or two ago, it was insane. They had just an entire lagoon full of alligators. I don't know. Like, I posted a picture of feeding time when they were feeding like whole chickens to alligators, and I swear to God there were 50 to 100 alligators in front of this dude. Just like it's creepy. It's creepy. Go look at the picture that I posted on Twitter. I posted a picture, and then in the comment section of that post, you'll see the feeding time picture. I mean, god damn, that is just gives you chills, man. It's crazy. Anyway, welcome, guys. Cole, good to see you, man. Fat Man, Sam, Christian, Christopher, Caretaker, Unknown Cars fan, Haunted Cake. But yeah, what's new with you guys? No topic of conversation tonight. Whatever's on your mind, whatever you guys want to talk about. We'll shoot the shit about it. There we go. Today is the last day of my 5 days off. A little bummed out. I got to go back to work tomorrow, but it's nice to have 5 days off. And unfortunately, when I did a shift swap with somebody, so that means that somebody worked for me on the 17th, which was my daughter's birthday. And then I work for that person on a date of their choosing. Which means whenever you do shift swaps, that means you're guaranteed to work 2 shifts in a row. Yeah, you have 5 days off, but since there's 3 shifts, there's A, B, and C shift. When you work for somebody's, let's say, A shift and you're on B shift, well, that means you're working 48 hours in a row. So it's great to have those 5 days off, but to pay someone back for a shift swap kind of sucks. So I have a 48-hour shift, a double, ahead of me in a couple days. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, Chris, like, good dude for taking your shift. People want to do swaps all the time. Like, if you want a day off and you don't want to burn a vacation day or a holiday or something like that, you can just. There's a handful of guys that I can text right now and be like, hey man, can you work for me on such and such day? And they'll be like, yeah, no problem. And then they send me what days they want, and I'll just be like, yeah, I'll work for you then. It's the easiest thing. It's great. But yeah, again, paying the shift back, working a 48-hour shift, always sucks. But it is what it is. Not seeing the family for 2 days sucks, but you do. I spend a lot of time with my daughter. More time. The way that I look at it, I work every third day for a 24-hour period. So I don't see my family on that 24-hour period. But on the 2 days that I'm off after my shift, I'm with my kid like all day. I pick her up from school. I feel like I spend more time with my kid than somebody that works a normal 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 shift, you know? Because you work a normal 9 to 5, like my wife gets home from work at like 6:30 in the afternoon. And she sees our daughter for like an hour and a half before it's bedtime. But me, on the other hand, yeah, I might not see her for 24 hours, but she's in school. And then I'll have a whole day with her when she's out of school the next day and the next day. So I feel like I spend more time, you know. But yeah, anyway. It's like duty days, got to look out for each other. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Duty days in the Navy were I didn't like them. Standing watch for like 4 or 8 hours at a time. Doing nothing. Yeah, anyway. No, Haunted. No, but those people definitely deserve more props than they get, for sure. But no, I'm a firefighter. So, yeah, 24-hour shifts. 3 a.m. in Greece. Good night, guys. Good night, Penalock? How do I pronounce that? Panolock? Penalock. Penaloke, maybe? Feeding them dino nuggets. Yeah, the alligator picture, super creepy. And then, you know, no disrespect, but like I probably shouldn't have posted this picture earlier, but like I see these lame ass shirts all the time. And you know, wear what you want, whatever. But like this shirt, I don't know how it is where you're from, but in Florida we have a lot of these like just fucking super lame shirts that are like, you know, love it or leave it, and then a big American flag. Or this one says faith or family, faith, friends, flag, firearms, 5 things you don't mess with. And I'm just, and inevitably, these shirts are worn by like the dopiest fucking dudes who probably think they're badass. I hate these shirts, and they're so all over Florida. And they're like deeply embarrassing to me. And whenever I see one, I always have to take a picture of it. So I have like a catalog of just lame fucking dopey dudes in super like, you know, I'm a badass kind of shirt. It's just, I don't know. It's just so lame to me, man. Anyway, no disrespect. The shirt's just lame as fuck. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Oscar says, those pictures give off Deliverance vibes. Yeah, you know, again, I never been to the alligator farm. It's in St. Augustine. I've lived here for 25 years now. And I've never once been to the alligator farm. And it's you know, people from all over the world, if they're coming to St. Augustine or Florida, a lot of people go here. And I never really knew much about it. I never saw pictures of it, and I didn't know what to expect. I thought, you know, there'd be a couple alligators. No, dude. There's an entire lake just full of alligators. They're all on top of each other. It's crazy. There's albino alligators. There's pythons. It's I didn't know what to expect, and I was pleasantly surprised because it's really well maintained and really nice, and they seem to take care, like, really good care of these animals, and the people who work there, at least the handlers and stuff like that, you know, you kind of have to have a passion for these animals to do that job, and it seems like it definitely seemed like they did. So it was neat. I'm glad I finally went. You know, but I can absolutely see that, Oscar. Looking at a picture of a single dude about to hand like 70 alligators a single mouse on a stick. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it's a dead mouse. They also threw out whole dead chickens too to these alligators. So, I mean, I guess in a way it's kind of like creepy, right? But it was a good experience. Why do you need? But I appreciate that, Oscar. Why do you need to go to a farm to see alligators in Florida? They're everywhere for free. Oh yeah, it's funny, man. They're in our neighborhood. Like we live in a nice neighborhood, and they're in our ponds all the time. And it's funny, people who move here from, you know, up north and they're not used to it, they like post pictures on the Facebook group, at like our neighborhood Facebook group, like alligator in pond, and everybody else is like, yeah, they're in every single pond in Florida. So of course, you know, I'm not the kind of person to be like, yo, let's go look at it. No, fuck no. I'm not gonna go like looking for an alligator. But if it's in a pond, yeah, it's there. Don't be surprised, but don't approach it. Yeah, but that's true. You know, me and my wife used to go kayaking a lot, Haunted Cake. And we still have our kayaks, but since we had our daughter, we haven't really been. We've been like once or twice in the past 6 years. And we used to go to a place called Guana State Park. It's kind of like a swamp, a marsh area. It's really nice. It's beautiful. And we used to go kayaking there a lot. And we would put our boats in and start paddling. And you would see alligator heads, their eyes and their snouts, like in the water, like 30 yards ahead of you. And when you approached, they would sink. And the thing about Guana State Park is the water level, if you take your paddle and you put it down below your boat and you try to touch the bottom of the water, I mean, it's no deeper than like 3 feet. So like they could be swimming underneath it. You could be going over them, and there's so many out there. And you just get used to it, you know? I mean, you get close to a bank, and then you see a couple alligators on the bank, laying in the bank in the sun. And then when you get close to the bank, they kind of like scurry into the water because you disturb them, and you're just sitting there like, oh shit. But no, I mean, like, don't mess with them. They won't mess with you. You know, it's just how Florida is. But no, I've never seen the ones like at the alligator farm today. I've never seen anything that big, just kayaking, stuff like that. Those things were enormous. They also had saltwater crocodiles there, which I had no idea were a thing, honestly. I had no idea up until a couple months ago. I was talking to a guy I work with about Key West, and he said, yeah, there's like somehow crocodiles got brought up, and I was like, fucking crocodiles? What? And he's like, yeah, there's saltwater crocodiles in Key West. And I was like, what? I had no idea that was a thing. Apparently saltwater crocodiles are a thing in Key West, and I'm assuming a lot of other parts of Florida. I had no idea that was a thing. But yeah, interesting. I've actually never been to Key West, Christopher. That's probably why I didn't know about it. I don't know if you go to Key West a lot. I do for work. Those shirts are everywhere. I've never actually been, Chris. My wife and her best friend used to go like once every couple of years, just as like a girls trip, you know, just to get away. But I've never been. My wife wants to take me. I don't know if I don't know if I'd like it. I'm more of like a, I don't know. I'm more of like let's go to the beach. And Key West doesn't have it, like, surprisingly, it doesn't really have beaches, does it? At least that's what I've been told. I'd rather go to like, I'm sure I would have a blast. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure I would have a blast, but yeah. Oh, you're sick, Christian? I'm sorry to hear that, man. Nah, we're just slow. Dude, it's Stuart. Friday nights are always pretty slow for live streams. But it's all good, man. I've had a busy day. Just kind of want to relax, sit back, shoot the shit with you guys. I got to work tomorrow, and then I got to work a double. If you ever go, I don't know which key to go to. Kim Cubans. Kim Cubans. Is that a restaurant? Cuban coffee, Mexican tacos. Nice, okay. Kim Cubans. Check it out. Wonder if my wife has been there. She's been there a bunch. I've never been. Best Cuban and Mexican food in Key West. There you go. Family owned and operated. Oh, that's cute. That's awesome. Got their whole family there working. Look like good, happy people. I love that kind of stuff, man. I never understand why, like, people go to these beautiful, exotic places or even go, you know, places on vacation. And then they go to, Starbucks for a coffee. And you're in somewhere you've never been. Dude, go to, like, a local coffee shop. Go to a local restaurant. Don't go to Ruby Tuesdays. Like... I'd like to go to Jacksonville and Orlando, Florida one day. Yeah, you know, I don't know if you're gonna go to Florida. I don't know where the best spot would be. If you're gonna go to Florida, I would recommend. Okay, so if you've never been to Florida, as somebody from Florida. I don't venture down south too often. I'm up in North Florida. But as touristy as it is, St. Augustine is beautiful. You have St. Augustine, the city. And I use the term city very loosely. It's great restaurants, pretty touristy. They have some unique historic stuff there. But if you cross over what's called the Lions Bridge, you're on what's called Anastasia Island. And that's kind of our hangout spot. Anastasia Island has great beaches, really great restaurants, some breweries, and it's less touristy than like St. Augustine proper. Anastasia Island is like where the locals go. And I highly recommend, like, if there's a spot that I would recommend that I'm very familiar with, I would recommend going there. If you're not, you know, if you want a great beach experience, Anastasia Island around St. Augustine is great. We love it here. I have no desire to ever move. Like, my wife would love to move to the mountains one day. I like the beach and the pool too much, man. I'm a summer guy. I love it. But you know, I can't really speak too much about South Florida. I've only been to Miami a couple times. That's about as south as I've ever been. Other than, like, you know, Cuba. I've been to Cuba. But yeah. Yeah, Flying PJ. I agree. St. Augustine's great. It's like, you know, it can get crowded, but like relative to Miami crowded, it's not crowded at all. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a different kind of crowded. It's like families and everybody's there. I don't know. It's really neat. I like it. I like it a lot. It's laid back and it's cool. Yeah. Smoking a Cuban cigar with Fidel, a caretaker. I was actually, in 2011, I was on a deployment and we went to Guantanamo Bay. And I did buy a box of Cubans. And when I got back from deployment, I smoked a couple with my dad. Cuban cigars from from somebody that worked on base who was a Cuban. I guess they would like bring on day laborers and stuff like that to work on the base, and somebody was just like selling Cuban cigars. I don't know if he was allowed to, but I was like, yeah, I'll buy a box of Cuban cigars from you, dude. No, I still have the box. Pretty neat. Yeah. Purple Letter Media. There you go. Hey, Greedo, I'm currently going to school for my job in the military. And I was wondering, what are you going to school? Like your A school or your MOS school? And I was wondering if you had a favorite memory from your basic training. Shit, man, that was almost 20 years ago. That's hard to believe. 2007 is when I went. I have a few like memories that stick out to me. And they're weird. You know how, like, certain things just stick with you. Not even if they're monumental. Not even if they're incredible. Not, just, like, little things that stick out to you. Right after we got our gear issued, we were walking in... It was pouring down rain. And we were walking in rain jackets. And I just have this vivid memory from, like, walking to the place where we got our gear issued to our barracks. I don't know how far it was. It felt like a mile. Might have been less. Probably was less. But I have this vivid memory of just walking in through the pouring down rain, listening to cadences as we're marching to our barracks. There's just like this vivid memory that I have. Pretty neat. Another one is like all the pranks that we pulled in basic training and boot camp. Pranks were a big thing. Like I have vivid memories of like, you know, I was friendly with everybody. Everybody was cool. There was not an issue in our division whatsoever. It was really neat, which I feel like is probably pretty rare. There's usually probably, you know, people butting heads and stuff like that. That did not exist in my division. But we pranked each other. There would be mornings where like, and it was all love, but like you would prank somebody and then you would wake up in the morning and your boots would be tied in knots to your barrack, your rack. So you're sitting there and your drill instructor, your RDC, recruit division commander, yeah, would be yelling, everybody up, yelling. And then you're sitting there like a dumbass. Everybody has their boots on and yours are tied in knots. And they knew what happened, right? Obviously they knew what happened. Shit, that was almost 20 years ago, Christian. 2007? Only 3 years until that's 20 years ago, dude. That's crazy. Hard to believe. But yeah, I got a lot of fond, vivid memories of you know, swim qualifications, and I don't know, it's interesting to think back. It's all a blur, you know. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much. I imagine you drinking a martini to the sound of Geowolf? Geowolf. Well, the martini's correct. The martini is correct. I'm a big fan of martinis, man. I like a martini. I'm trying to think of the most recent ones. Me and my wife like to make them at home. You know, we squeeze some fresh lime, maybe get some cranberry juice, and make some martinis at home. They're great. I'm going to keep this up. Geowolf. I don't remember if you've mentioned them before or not. Australian dream pop duo formed in Sunshine Coast, Queensland in 2016. Their debut studio album, Great Big Blue, was released in 2018. Neat. All right, I'm going to keep this up. Just the description of them. Dream pop. I'll probably like it. Oscar, there's a... Okay, so... Robert Palmer. Okay, so I listen to... Okay, so... I listen to a lot of playlists, on Spotify. Some are called, like, Midwest Emo, and there's, like, bands like Max Seal or Algernon Codwaddler or Also, like bands that like, I don't know, you gotta like it to like it. If you're iffy about it, you'll probably hate it. But I was listening to these the playlist, and the playlist ended. And then, you know, Spotify just starts recommending songs to you that they might think you like, you know. And a song came on called Johnny and Mary. And by Robert Palmer. And I was listening to it, and I was like, this is great. This is cool. And this is how stupid I am. I'm like, I didn't recognize the name. Robert Palmer. Didn't recognize the name. I never heard the song. And I was like, this song rules, man. This song rules. And I in my head, I just thought it was like a new band, a new guy making some fun kind of synthy music and just kind of like low. I don't know. It was great. I was like, this is really good. And then it was only a couple weeks ago I saw that song was made in 1989, and I was like, what the fuck? What? That song, this song that I was jamming out to, thinking it was like relatively new, it was made from 1989. It's a really good song. It sounds like it could be made. There's a lot of bands that kind of sound like that nowadays. But Johnny and Mary by Robert Palmer. It's great, and it's almost as old as I am. But yeah, anyway. I appreciate that, Oscar. Rednax is here. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well, man. Rednax says, to add, anything you wish you knew prior to basic. Getting ready for West Point this summer. Oh, no kidding. Just got accepted today. Well, congratulations, man. Hell yes. That's, I'm proud of you, dude. That's incredible. That's incredible, dude. Congratulations. You are... Yeah, man, that's very prestigious, screw all those other degrees, man, all those other private schools. That is cheers. I got a little glass of something here, and I'm cheersing to you, Rednecks. That's great. Anything I wish I knew prior to basic. Golly. It was pretty long ago, and it went smooth. There's nothing that I really wish I would have known. I think I went in with a pretty, I think I went in ready, I went in, I enlisted. And I was like the easiest sell a recruiter ever had. I dropped out of college. I dropped out of 2 colleges, dude. Now, I literally just went one morning and I just signed some paperwork. And I was like, I need to have something that I can't flake out on, right? I need to have something that I need to be in and not abandon it. Be forced to stick something out. And I went in with that mindset. And it was very helpful. I'm sure a lot of people were struggling. I never did. Just because I was there. You're there. Make the best of it. You're there. So no, there's really nothing that I wish I knew prior to basic. Especially in hindsight. It went pretty smooth. But a part of me wishes I would have stayed in. But, life would just be way different. Me and my wife probably wouldn't be together. We definitely wouldn't have our daughter. But if I would have stayed in, I would only have about 3 years left until retirement, which is crazy. A part of me wishes I would have stayed in. But I got in knowing I would get out in 4 years. But no, just make the best of it, Recognize that you might think 4 years. Well, you're going to be a commissioned officer, so you're probably 8-year commitment? Is that what it is? 8-year commitment? Might seem like a long time. It's not, dude. It goes by quick, and you're going to have stories and grand adventures, and you're going to be a part of a team. So go into it and recognize that this is your life. This is what you signed up for. This is, when you're down. Sometimes it sucks, but, you just got to go in with a mindset of, okay, yep, 8 years, yep. 8 years might sound like a lot, but 4 years of that is school, right? Does your time at West Point count towards your time in? I don't know how West Point works. I know other military colleges that are not necessarily associated with. I'm curious. Does that count towards your 8 years? Probably not. Now that I think about it. But yeah, Rednecks, that's awesome. I think the biggest thing to know before you go in is just nope, 4 at West Point. 8 after. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, make the most of it. 12 years. 12 years. And human beings are great at adapting and getting used to things. We're remarkably malleable, some of us. 5 active, 3 reserve, 4 years at the academy, so 12 years total. Gotcha. Those 5 years will fly by. All of it will fly by, dude. All of it will fly by. Might not seem like it in the moment, but it'll all fly by for sure. Something I wish I would have done a little better, and I still wish I would do it these days with my career now, is write a little log, like a little journal, a day to day or a week to week. Something that you can look back on and remember the days. Remember the days. Little things, big things. Just write every day in a little log, in a little personal journal. I think I wish I would have done that, and I don't know how it is these days, but like when I was deployed, I would email my now wife, my girlfriend at the time, and I would email her like whenever I could, It was kind of difficult for communication back then. But I would email her, and I wish I had those emails. Like, they're lost with time because I use the boat email, right? And my wife, maybe she still has those emails. Oh, I've never thought about that. She might still have those emails. Oh, that might be interesting. I'll have to ask her if she can look those up in her old email. Anyway, best of luck to you, Rednacks. That's exciting. I'm proud of you, man. That's great. Super Michael 98, long time no see. Hope you're doing well, Mike. Super Michael says, you gonna watch Rebel Moon Part 2 just released? I had no idea that they were making a Part 2. Rebel Moon Part 1 just came out, didn't it? Rebel Moon Part 2 debuts to Zack Snyder's worst Rotten Tomatoes score. I didn't see Part 1, man. No, I don't honestly. Rebel Moon, like, so Mike, time and what we watch is so, we have to be very picky about what we watch, man. Time is very limited, especially like watching a movie for a couple hours. We have to be very picky what we watch. We don't have very many nights together, and when we do, we tend to try to pick something that we're both really interested in, me and my wife. And Rebel Moon is one that certainly has not come up. So I'll probably never see Rebel Moon Part 1. I'll probably never see Rebel Moon Part 2. It's not because, like, I think they're bad. It's not because of any Rotten Tomatoes score. It's just because we're not all that interested in it, to tell you the truth, But yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, purple letter media says, yeah, it's so crazy how fast time flies now. Yeah, it's true. My daughter just turned 6. What is today? The 19th? Yeah, 2 days ago. She turned 6 years old. That was hard to believe. She's already 6. Yeah, the older you get, I'm sure there's some kind of like breakdown and reason why time seems to pass quicker the older you get. Because, you know, when I was young, it seemed like summers lasted forever, right? It seemed like school years lasted forever. It was, I don't know, maybe that's just in hindsight. It felt that way. Maybe with the passage of time, you know, events, I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure there's a breakdown of the, why it feels like that, right? But yeah, it's true. Yeah, it feels the same way, Purple. Yep. She's super into, you know, her interests change. She's constantly learning. She's a smart kid, man. She's mature for her age, for sure. She's really into My Little Pony right now. And it's cool because, you know, like, I know nothing about that world. I knew nothing. But she's really into that right now. That's all she wants to watch. That's all she wants to play. So we got her a bunch of My Little Pony stuff for her birthday. And, like, this is her first, I don't know, like, franchise obsession, I guess you could call it. And it's fun because, like, she quizzes me about character names and yeah, she's just super into it, and it's neat. So, you know, she's into it, therefore I'm into it, which is, you know, it's the right thing to do. I'm not going to be like, no, you got to watch this new Star Wars show. No, fuck that. Be into your own, you know, be into your own thing. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm tired. Went to bed like... Yeah. Went to bed pretty early last night. I fell asleep on the couch watching Ted Lasso. Dozing. The night before, like I said, I had 5 days off. So, like, I was staying up late. I had big ambitions to play video games, and I ended up playing, like, 20 minutes of the new Diablo, and then 20 minutes like Fallout 4, and then a round of PUBG. Like, I have a hard time sticking with a game. I don't know why. I just can't, like, especially a single player game. I don't know. You played Empire Jazz once, and it's been an earworm for me since, specifically the Lando Cloud City track. Empire Jazz. Empire. I don't remember playing Empire Jazz. There was an album that I used to play all the time on my channel called Far Far Away. The Far Far Away album, but I don't remember Empire Jazz. I'm going to look this up. Empire. Is that the name of an album or something? Empire Jazz. Empire Jazz. I don't recognize this. Huh. I'll keep this up along with Geo Wolf. Empire Jazz is an album by bassist Ron Carter featuring jazz interpretations of 5 of John Williams' themes from The Empire Strikes Back, which was recorded. Huh, interesting. That's cool. Thanks. Oh, nice. Thanks for popping in, Matt. Hey, Greedo, just popping in to say hi. Hope you're well, sir, and your family's doing great. Yeah, we're doing good, man. Me and my wife have our 10-year wedding. Well, we already celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary about a week ago. But we have our 10-year wedding anniversary big trip coming up in a couple weeks. And we're flying to Bozeman, Montana. And then we're renting a car and going to Yellowstone National Park and Grand Teton National Park. So that's kind of what the big family plans are. My daughter is staying with my parents for those 8 days or so. So that's what we got on the horizon. We just got done. We just went on a cruise. Me, my wife, and our daughter. Just went on a cruise, and that was fun. We went on a cruise about a month ago. It's a good time. And then now we have our anniversary trip coming up, and we might be planning a trip to Cape Cod to visit my sister and her family sometime in June. But yeah, we got a lot of trips planned this year for sure. Anyway. Mabel Pines, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support this evening. Mabel says, longtime fan here. My kids are obsessed with My Little Pony. I sit down and watch it with her. I've seen the movies with her. I've seen the shows with her. And, yeah, it's a good one. Like, there's a lot of crap out there for kids, as you know. Somebody with kids knows that there's a lot of crap. But it's great that she gravitated towards this show. Like, and it's neat because it's a world that I am not familiar with at all. Literally, honestly, like, maybe this is embarrassing to say, the only things that I ever knew about My Little Pony was the guys that, like, the grown-up dudes who are, for whatever reason, obsessed with the show. But then, you have a 6-year-old who's obsessed with the show, and you're like, okay, I can see why. all right, it makes sense. Never did. But, she's obsessed with it. We got her So we got her like a huge bunk bed for her birthday, like with a loft bed with a desk underneath it, and it's really cool. But other than that, that was like her big present. Other than that, you know, we got her a bunch of My Little Pony stuff, like a Sunny Star Scout, big stuffed animal thing, and then we got her some like wall decals, that like removable wall decals. There's like a pack of 25 wall decals with a bunch of characters and like little stars and rainbows and stuff like that. And she immediately decorated her room. It was cool. Some books, some coloring books, some figures, a My Little Pony toothbrush, My Little Pony dress and clothes and stuff. So like that's what she's into right now. And, you know, she's never been, you know, she's watched other shows, SpongeBob, whatever. But for whatever reason, like, My Little Pony is what clicked with her. She loves it. She loves it. But, yeah. Anyway, cheers. I appreciate that, Mabel Pines. Nice, Matt. Yeah. We've been together for 10 years. Or, no, we've been married for 10 years, together for 17. So we've been together for a while, almost 2 decades. Hard to believe. Time flies. Time flies. You know what I watched? If you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw my post. I watched. Sorry. I stayed up late, played some games, and then I decided to hop down, plop on the couch downstairs, and I watched. I guess Adult Swim is having a 30-year anniversary Space Ghost Coast to Coast 24-hour live stream right now. 30-year anniversary Space Ghost Coast to Coast live stream. And I just sat there for like an hour watching like old episodes of Space Ghost. And it's just funny to me, like, I have vivid memories of when I was a kid. So 30 years ago, I would have been 37, 38. I mean, not 30. I would have been 7 or 8 30 years ago. And I have vivid memories of being in my family's first house in Georgia. When we lived in Georgia. And I had a TV in my room, a little bullshit box TV. And I remember watching Space Ghost Coast to Coast late at night, like just flipping on my TV late at night. And Space Ghost Coast to Coast would be on. And I didn't really get it at the time, probably. But I just watched it a lot as a kid. You know, it was this late night weird show that was very eclectic and different and goofy, and you know, they had like random guests on that I had no idea who they were, but it was just funny and silly. So it was neat to watch that a couple nights ago and just be like, oh, Jon Stewart was on an episode that came on, and I was like, whoa. 30 years ago. I didn't even know Jon Stewart was a name. He was on there. It was just kind of neat. It was really neat. But I feel like that show is ahead of its time for sure. Like watching it right now, knowing that these episodes were 30 years old, just kind of mind-blowing, you know? But yeah. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Oscar says, was anyone obsessed with Ed, and Eddie as a kid? Anybody obsessed with that show as a kid? Let's see. When did that come out? Let me Google it real quick. Ed, and Eddie. So 1999 is when the first episode of that aired. Ed, Ed, and Eddie. I know what these characters... I recognize these characters, Oscar. But no, I never watched it. I feel like it was a little after my time. Like, the first episode aired in 1999. I would have been 13 years old. And I feel like maybe I don't know, maybe... I don't remember watching it ever. So maybe it was a little after my time. I might have been a little too old to like start a new cartoon. What did it come on? Let's see. Cartoon Network. Okay. So, no, I don't remember ever watching it. Like I said, I recognize the characters, but no, like in 1999, I'm trying to think what I was watching. I don't even know what I was watching. In 99, golly. Probably like TGIF shows. I was probably still watching like Doug and Rugrats and shit like that I don't know. But I never watched Ed, Ed, and Ed. It was probably like, it probably came out right when I was on the edge of like not really watching too much cartoon stuff anymore, you know? But, yeah, I don't really remember watching too much. I really don't remember watching too many shows when I was around that age, like 13. I think I got my first computer in my room when I was like 13 or something like that. And I honestly, once I got a computer in my room, I legitimately do not remember watching very many shows anymore. I mean, I still watch like Seinfeld and Friends and stuff like that. That's kind of what I was into at the age of 13. But like, once I got a computer in my room, dude, it was a game changer. I didn't really watch much TV. I instead played, you know, just a bunch of PC games. I would stay up super late playing like... I like the original iteration of Counter-Strike. Came out in what, 98, 99? I would just play PC games constantly. Ultima Online, I would play constantly, you know. So I went from like watching TV to just being on my computer all the time, playing PC games and stuff like that. So there's like a little blackout area of TV watching where I really didn't watch anything new for a long time. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. All right, that's it for me. Let's see. So, gotta work tomorrow. Then I have to work Sunday. Or no, I'm off Sunday. Then I have to work Monday and Tuesday. So you guys probably will not see me on Sunday. Definitely won't see me Monday or Tuesday. And I might do a live stream Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe daytime live streams. We'll see. And I need to get some videos up. I need to make some fun stuff. I was thinking about making like a spoof on a real estate commercial, but in Star Wars. I don't know, man. I just want to make stupid shit again. I have an urge to make like silly videos like I used to, but anyway. That's it from me this evening, guys. Thanks for hanging out a little bit. We're going to go watch some bullshit on YouTube. Me and my wife enjoy watching, like, Good Mythical Morning or the React channel. Just kind of vegging out and, you know, maybe share a bottle of wine and watch some dumb stuff on YouTube until we fall asleep. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for all the support this evening. Thanks for some nostalgia. But, all right, enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. and I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya!